In the beginning of Parshas Tetzaveh, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, God tells Moshe Rabbeinu, Hakrev elecha, v'ato hakrev elecha, and you, hakrev elecha, bring closer to you, es Aaron achicha, Aaron your brother. And this language of hakrev is really a little bit perplexing. Many other places Moshe is instructed to do things, but he's never told to bring someone close to him. And perhaps it would also imply that there was some kind of rift between Moshe and Aaron, that they weren't close. Although we know that when Moshe first was asked by Hashem to become the leader of the Jewish people, he was worried about his brother Aaron. After all, Aaron was 3 years older than him, and he was concerned that Aaron would be insulted, would be embarrassed. And so Hashem reassured him, don't worry, your brother Aaron is so special, he will be very, very happy for you that you've been selected. So what is this, Hakrev elecha, bring close to you? Well, Hashem tells Moshe, bring Aaron close and make him the Kohen Gadol, make him the high priest, him and his sons. And not only will he be the high priest and his sons will be Kohanim, but in the future, for many generations, whether it's a Mishkan, a tabernacle, or a Beis HaMikdash, a temple, Yerushalayim, the Kohanim, the priests, they would be the ones to be leading the avodah, the service of the Jewish people, the communication between the Jewish people and HaKadosh Baruch Hu. So Moshe is not the Kohen. Why is he bringing close his brother Aaron? What's it about? And so Rav Meir Mishalan, Zechet Tzadik Levracha, explains as follows. He says, Moshe and Aaron were very different people. They loved each other. They got along. There was no rift. They were good brothers. But they were different. Moshe, because he communicated with the divine, he communicated with Hashem, he spent much of his time in private, hisbodedus, thinking about, focusing on the task that he had in front of him. As though, after all, we're told that when it came to the Ohel Moed, Moshe took the Ohel Moed at a certain point and he placed it outside, michutz lamachane, outside of the camp, to be away from the people. Aaron was the opposite. Aaron was the man of the people. Aaron was an Ohev Shalom, Rodev Shalom. Aaron loved peace. He constantly pursued peace between people who were fighting or bickering, between husband and wife. And we know that when Aaron died, the entire nation, all of the Jewish people, as Rashi says, the husbands and the wives, everyone mourned the loss of Aaron because he was a man of the people who understood their feelings. He was able to report to Moshe what the latest trends were among the people. That the people were happy, or the people were disappointed, or the people were sad, or the people had some kind of issue that needed to be addressed. And Aaron would bring that to Moshe, but Moshe was to a certain degree disconnected from the people on a daily basis because he needed to focus on being that conduit between the people and HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and one had to have some distance in order to do that effectively. And so he explains, Rav Meir Mishalan, that God says to Moshe, he says, Moshe, even though you and Aaron are different, look at Aaron, bring him close to you. Meaning, bring his midos, bring his character traits close to you. Yes, you are different, your tasks are different, your roles are different, but there are things that you can learn from Aaron that can help you be a better leader. And that's why the word hakrev, bring close, es Aaron achicha, Aaron your brother, is mentioned as to Hashem's commandment to Moshe Rabbeinu. To bring close means that here, in essence, Moshe Rabbeinu would be able to learn from Aaron, learn from his brother, even though he was different from his brother. And I think we can apply this in our lives as well. There are times that we engage with people or we disengage with people based on how we are compared to them. Sometimes, for example, there could be a person who's very outgoing, or sometimes a person can be very eccentric, and we may be people who are very quiet or very shy, and so we keep a distance because we're uncomfortable around those people. But HaKadosh Baruch Hu maybe is telling us, teaching us in life, that there might be something that we could learn from those people. Doesn't mean that we have to be incredibly close, but that we don't have to look at them with disdain or with separation, but we could look at them and say, maybe there is some of their character traits that I could learn from in order to help me be the best person that I could possibly be. That is a very important message that we can take away from the Parsha, from the relationship of Moshe and Aaron, and apply to our own personal lives, in our own comfort level, the ability that we may have to learn from someone else who might not be like us, that could really help us not become them, but help us be the best people that we could be and that we want to be. Thank you for listening, and have a good Shabbos.